Imagine you're living in a group of about 30 people. You grew up together, you hunt together, you sleep in the same cave. And somewhere in that group, you have to find someone to spend your life with. That was the entire dating pool. 30 people, maybe less. So how did ancient humans actually find love? First, let's talk about just how small these groups were, because it changes everything. Hunter-gatherer bands typically had 20 to 50 people. Within that, a large chunk were family, children, or already paired with someone. Researchers estimate the realistic pool of potential partners at any given time was somewhere between 2 and 5 people. 2 to 5 people. For your entire life. Ancient humans solved this by building networks between groups. Different bands would meet seasonally, trade goods, and exchange partners. Genetic studies of remains going back 34,000 years show they were actively avoiding inbreeding. They weren't stumbling into it by accident, they had a system. So when groups met, what actually made someone attractive? Researchers studying modern hunter-gatherer communities found that the most sought-after partners weren't necessarily the strongest or most physically impressive. They were the generous ones. The ones who shared food, helped others, and were good to be around. There's a theory called mate provisioning that describes exactly this. Males who consistently brought food to a specific female got more access to her time, and females developed a preference for providers over dominant males. Being kind and useful was genuinely attractive in a direct, practical way. The instinct to do things for someone you're drawn to is not a modern romantic invention. It's tens of thousands of years old. Now, here's the part nobody talks about. Ancient humans didn't only fall for other ancient humans. We know from genetics that Homo sapiens and Neanderthals interbred multiple times over tens of thousands of years. About 2% of the DNA of every non-African person alive today comes directly from Neanderthals. A 2025 study found the pairings were predominantly male Neanderthals with female Homo sapiens. Researchers now believe genuine mate preference was driving it. Not accident, not just proximity. 2 entirely different species, and somehow they ended up together often enough to leave a permanent trace in every human alive today. Here's what I keep coming back to. We think of romantic love as something refined and modern, something that needed civilization and poetry to develop. But pair bonding goes back at least 4.4 million years. The impulse to look attractive for someone goes back 100,000 years. The instinct to provide for someone you care about is woven into the deepest parts of human biology. The feelings weren't invented by anyone. They were already there. All the poetry and love songs that came later were just humans trying to put words to something that was already happening long before words existed. Ancient humans found love the same way we do. They were around someone long enough, that person made them feel safe, and something clicked that neither of them could fully explain. Anyway, that's the video. If something here surprised you, drop it in the comments. See you in the next one.